to the last confirmed sighting, less than a century passed. Think about that. A species that had existed for thousands of years was wiped out in a single human lifetime. The last widely accepted sighting of a dodo was in 1662. A shipwrecked sailor named Volkert Everts described his encounter with the birds. After that, silence. There are a few more anecdotal accounts. But by the end of the 17th century, the dodo was gone, vanished from the face of the earth. It happened so fast that for a while, some people in Europe even doubted the dodo had ever existed. They thought it was a myth, a sailor's tall tale. It wasn't until the 19th century when scientists began excavating dodo skeletons in a marsh on Mauritius that the world was forced to accept the truth. The dodo was real, and we had driven it to extinction. The story of the dodo was a wake-up call. It was the first time that humanity was forced to confront a hard truth. Our actions could cause another species to disappear forever. The word extinction took on a new, tangible meaning. The dodo became the ultimate symbol of this irreversible loss. It wasn't a dinosaur wiped out by an asteroid millions of years ago. This was a creature that existed alongside Shakespeare and Rembrandt, erased by the direct and indirect consequences of human activity. The dodo's extinction helped to spark the modern conservation movement. It made us realize that we have a responsibility to protect the planet's biodiversity. Every time we hear about an endangered species today, from the Amur leopard to the vaquita, we are hearing echoes of the dodo's story. What are the lessons we can take from the dodo's last stand? The biggest one is the devastating impact of invasive species. When non-native animals or plants are introduced into a new ecosystem, they can throw the entire system out of balance, often with catastrophic results. Islands are particularly vulnerable because their native species have evolved in isolation, without defenses against new predators or diseases. Another key lesson is about habitat destruction. You can't save a species if you don't save its home. Deforestation and urban sprawl continue to be two of the biggest threats to wildlife around the globe. The dodo lost its food and its nesting grounds, and that was as fatal as any predator. The story is a powerful reminder that our actions have far-reaching consequences, often in ways we don't anticipate. The sailors who let pigs and rats off their ships had no idea they were signing the dodo's death warrant. They were just focused on their own survival and profit. This highlights the need for careful planning and foresight in all our interactions with the natural world. Today, we have the scientific knowledge to understand these complex ecological relationships. We know the risks. The dodo's legacy is a challenge to us to use that knowledge wisely. So, the next time you see a drawing of a dodo, don't just think of it as a goofy, extinct bird. Remember its true story. Remember the lush, predator-free paradise it called home. Remember the sudden arrival of new dangers it couldn't comprehend. And most importantly, remember that its extinction in less than 100 years was our fault. The dodo is not just a historical footnote, it is a permanent symbol of loss and a stark warning. It's as a call to action to protect the countless other species that are now on the brink, so they don't go the way of the dodo. Thank you for watching. If you found this story as fascinating and important as we do, please consider liking this video and subscribing to our channel for more deep dives into the history of our planet. See you next time. Hello everyone, and welcome back to our channel. Today, we're journeying back in time to the beautiful island of Mauritius to uncover the story of one of the most famous extinct creatures in history, the dodo. This isn't just a tale of a flightless bird. It's a powerful story about discovery, misunderstanding, and the irreversible impact of human activity. It's a story that continues to resonate today, serving as a potent symbol of extinction and a call for conservation. So grab your explorer's hat and let's dive into the world of the dodo. Picture this: the late 1500s. Mauritius, an isolated island jewel in the Indian Ocean, is a paradise untouched by humans. Its lush forests are home to a unique array of wildlife that has evolved in isolation for millions of years. Among them is a curious flightless bird about a meter tall with grayish plumage, a large hooked bill and stubby little wings. This was the dodo, scientifically known as Rhesus cuculetus. For centuries, these birds lived peacefully, with no natural predators to fear. Their flightlessness wasn't a disadvantage. It was an adaptation to a life of abundance, where food was plentiful on the forest floor and there was no need to escape danger from above. They were, in essence, the kings and queens of their small island kingdom. Then, in 1598, everything changed. Dutch sailors, the first humans to set foot on Mauritius, arrived. To them, this strange, large bird that wasn't afraid of them seemed like an easy meal. The sailors and the domestic animals they brought with them, like pigs, dogs, and monkeys, were a catastrophic new element in the dodo's world. The dodos, having never known predators, were naturally trusting and had no instinct to flee. This lack of fear wasn't stupidity, as they were later unfairly painted. It was a testament to their previously peaceful existence. The invasive species that came with the ships were just as devastating. Pigs and monkeys raided the dodos' ground nests, devouring their eggs, while rats competed for food resources. The dodo's single-egg nesting strategy, which had been perfectly sustainable for millennia, suddenly became a critical vulnerability. The name dodo itself is shrouded in some mystery. Some linguists believe it comes from the Dutch word dodor, meaning sluggard, perhaps a comment on its unhurried nature. Others suggest it derived from dodars, which means fatars, a rather unflattering description of its